Let us start now, 6:20. Warm welcome to our Masters, Hualien Dharma team, and brothers and sisters around the globe to Saturday Hualien Dharma talk. A very good morning. Let us start the session for today. Let us send our sincere prayers into the 10 directions. May the Sahara land be free from disaster and peace prevails in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere piousness.
In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. All my heart is filled with sincere prayer. From all corners of the world, let us join our hearts and pray for a world of harmony and peace. In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. May all the Buddhas hear my prayer. All united with one heart, let us end our hate with love. May there be no suffering hereafter.
May all minds be purified. May there be peace in the community. May there be no disaster in this world. Now let us pray together for universal love and blessing. With loving respect, gratitude, and confidence, let us wish every person in our lives a healthy body, an enlightened mind, and a total fulfillment in universal love. Now let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe. Let our unified love make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Before we hear the wonderful sharing, let us invite our masters to lead us in paying homage to the Triple Gems. Let us pay our respects for these teachings and explanations to the Buddha and Master Ching by making 3 sincere bows. Please rise, palms together. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our beloved Abode Masters who could join us today. Today we have many sharers. We have Brother Joshua, Mesita, Brother Ho, Sister June, and Sister Susan, who will be sharing on the translation team for weekly Sunday talk with Brother David. And next we have Brother Victor and Sister Janet, who will be sharing on the floods are ruthless, but there is love in the world. Okay, before that, we'll invite Sister Su Ching for the weekly summary. Sister Su Ching, over to you. 感恩.
Hi, Sister Lily. Hey, let me draw this out. Slideshow. Okay. So last week, Brother Jieh and Sister Lily and Sister Effie were talking about the footprints in Tawa and Lahad Datu. For Brother Jieh, a guide in finance art, asked the mission's purpose a heartfelt start. The children's eyes hold no hint of their plight, yet in their presence, hope takes flight. Understanding Dharma through mission's lens, why live in hardship, change their life's trends? Do good, avoid evil is the Buddhist creed. 6 parameters practice a spiritual seed. With the law of cause and effect, fate can be rearranged. This Buddhist wisdom is a lesson where action circumstances are exchanged. Once in Tzi's uniform, we are a representation, where as volunteers we accompany, support, and learn in a shared foundation. And Sister Lily spoke. In Lahad Datu, Sabah, Sister Lily says, distributing blessings with a grateful mindset. Landfills witness, pet bottles brought cheer. Bamboo banks for kids, joy drawing near. Sister Lily counted her blessings, including a proper house, income, and freedom to roam. Cherish what's ours, be contented at home. House chores a joy, a dwelling to own. Being taught resilience from those hardly known. Mid-Autumn Fest, Tawa sisters unite, serving love and food in the warm moonlight. Then Sister Effie came on. In Tawa slums, Sister Effie sees despair. On her first trip out of Selangor, her heart laid bare. In the medical outreach, 50% were poor Malaysians, whilst 50% stateless plight. It was the senior Tzi volunteers who 20 years ago paved the path to light. In landfills and boats, the stateless reside. Sister Effie pondered, are they visible yet invisible? They are present yet they hide. At distribution, bamboo banks were absent, so pet bottles stood in. Volunteers were moisturizing hands of patients in love's purified spin. Even with language barriers, this was bridged with Roshan's care. Master Cheng Yan's wisdom echoed, the volunteers were well aware. Even amid the stench and flies, a lesson found. Compare not to the more, but to the less around. The team distributed groceries to 50 homes, 2 months' supply. Such is the purification through service. Use love to apply. Blessings lie in simplicity and love for kin, guiding the needy a new path to begin. Then Master Teng Huang came on, who spoke about the 10 Dharma realms are not beyond a single thought. There are quite a lot of topics that she introduced, so those will be summarized in just 1 or 2 lines. Yeah. In the dance of karma, focus molds our fate. From hurt we learn and growth will resonate. Lotus nurtured by mud blooms pristine. In life's physics, frequencies align unseen. Master Tzu guides with pure wisdom pure. Facing falsehood, questions hold the cure. Purpose and kindness, truth in the light. Master Cheng Yan spread love and kindness takes flight. Religion doesn't birth wars, it's the strife. Our bodies are a garden, not graveyard. Let's cultivate that life. Vegetarian choices is a skillful dance. To lead with love, give life a chance. Free others, find wisdom in return. Encourage, bless, and healing will churn. In this symphony of living, a truth unfolds. Love, joy, and kindness create beautiful stories told. And then we had Brother David Liu with 3 Q&As. The first one, in life cycles, principles unfold. How to sustain aspirations is the tale to be told. Brother David said, to endure, remember intent. Remembering intent is the pure art. Volunteer, find calm, and let joy impart. And question 2, in gatherings where gossip swirl and politics play, how to navigate without losing your way. Brother David said, in the crowd like lotus, find your ground. Learn amid the mud, let wisdom abound. Hear without listening, see without watch. In actions, find learning and rise above the talk. In question 3, in enlightenment's embrace, Parinirvana's door, a Buddha departs, returns no more. Brother David said, yet in life's endless dance, death is but a guise. Bodhisattvas vow through rebirths eternally flies. Kanan for listening, and that is all my sharing for today. I'll hand over to Brother Chin to introduce the next speaker. Anna.
Sister Su Ching, are you facilitating the first group?
Yeah, Brother Jieh.
Sorry.
Okay. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Most grateful to the wonderful summary by Sister Su Ching and Sister Lily for hosting the session. Okay, let me share the slides. Okay, most respected Master Chen Yan, about masters, brothers and sisters, a very good morning. Thank you everyone for joining and for the opportunity to learn today. The topic that we are sharing is on the translation to English on Brother David Liu weekly Sunday session. We are most grateful that this field of blessing started in June 2022. During that time, our Hong Kong sister, the very diligent Sister Hilda, contacted our Sister Yvonne to find volunteers to assist in translation of English for Brother David's weekly Sunday talk. Before that, in 2020, when Brother David started the weekly Sunday talk, everyone noticed that English group has already started doing the translation, but it was more like offline, where it was live session, but it was done in another platform, Google platform, where after the session, volunteers will edit the script and post it later in the chat group. So we are most grateful that Sister Hualien was the first siblings who courageously said, I'm willing, and the rest is history. This time, the difference in June 2022 is that volunteers have to commit in putting the English subtitles in the recording. In each recording means it has to be in sync with what the speaker is talking. So that is a major commitment, because it involves weekly session. We know how diligent Brother David is. Because of Sister Hualien's 我愿意, I'm willing, that's why it gave birth to this subtitle, English subtitle. The teams that are involved in these weekly sessions, at the moment, there are 2 teams. We are still opening up to everyone to join because there are so much learning in each of the session. It's like weekly. First week is Team A, then Team B is the second week. So these are the list of translators that are involved. We can see, like, from Team A, Sister Sihu is from Penang, Dr. Ho is from Kelantan, Sister Mesita, our youngest translator. She is a Malaysian residing in UK now. Kathy, Malaysian. Sister Yvonne, Sister Hualien, and Sister June, who acts as the editor for Team A. Because naturally, after the because each translator will have their own way, their own style in translation. So the editor role is very important to ensure that there is this, of course, the right interpretation, as well as the fluidness, that the whole piece will be smooth. Okay, Team B is myself. Then we have Brother Alex, Sister Sui San, Sister Shepun, Brother Joshua, a Malaysian residing in US, Okay, those name, I mean those, I didn't mention the residents, they are Malaysians mainly. Sister Lily, now she's in Johor. Of course, Sister Hui she's also in Team B. And Dr. Ho, Dr. Ho is very diligent volunteer. He is our editor for Team B. So, okay, without much time ado, let us listen from a few of the translators and the editors they are able to share with us today. Okay, let us first invite Sister June. Sister June is the great bodhisattva. We have heard her sharing after her 2023 commissioning. We heard how these sisters, after understanding Master's teaching, willing to give up on the career and in the process gaining life wisdom and helping so many activities because with more time in Tzu Chi, she can join the volunteers, be it in the communities, in English group to help us. Okay, without much time, we pass to Sister June. Okay, over to you, Sister June.
Mr. Su Ching, good morning, all brothers and sisters. Very kind to have this opportunity to share my insights, and also actually very, very kind to have this opportunity to be actually able to contribute in this platform. Actually, like Sister Su Ching mentioned, back in 2020, for Brother David's session, it was transcript and live, meaning that when Brother David speaks, we will type into the transcript. So even at that point, being a banana is actually not easy because Brother David's talk is not just in Mandarin, it's full of Dharma from the sutras. And on top of that, it's a lot of ancient Chinese languages like Wen Yan Wen. And also he will make reference to Confucius and a lot of those Chinese philosophies. It's actually not easy at all. Initially, of course, there were a little bit of pressure and afflictions. But then again, I realized, okay, never mind. Like Teacher Mei Yun from Kaohsiung actually said, you don't have to be great to start, but you need to start somewhere so that you will progress and be great. So with that in mind, then we just do it more at ease. That became better. And last year, when we started with this inserting of the subtitles, initially, I remembered it was Sister Huiying who did all the translation, and the translation was just beautiful. So it was just very grateful that, you know, the team allowed me to actually do the edit. It was very interesting because it's not only taking me into a language appreciation, but it's also to know the sutra better, to know the principles, and to allow me to put that in practice. Sometimes it works in very, very funny ways because whatever that I have done is actually can be applied in daily life. Somehow or other, it comes in, the situation will come, and then you will think back, look, this is what I've done, and this is probably what is the solution. So it's actually very, very interesting. It's like a universal Q&A between me and God. So through that, and also with this team, as the team gradually expanded, we're trying to get more and more people so that more will have the opportunity to also cultivate this field of blessing. As the team got bigger, sometimes we're unable to do the task. Like recently, I had to reach out to Dr. Ho to be the editor because I was away. And he was very gracious and very powerful, very always able to help with team. And even sometimes when I don't understand what that sentence or the sutra means, I can always reach out to Dr. Ho or other brothers and sisters in my community to explain that to me. So how to phrase it in better English. So it's always trying to think of a better way to make sure that the reader or the audience get the gist of it. That is always a challenge because sometimes when we think we have already put it in a way that we understand, you always have to think, the mindfulness will come in because you will have to think of, wait, does the person who sees this understand it as I have understood it? I think that is really, really the taking mindfulness to the next level. So all in all, with this, it's not just It's not just a personal learning, it's also a personal transformation. And in addition, the personal transformation, you also at the same time try to turn and get other people or enable other people to understand. So it is actually a very good field of blessing. So I actually encourage all brothers and sisters, even if you do not know Chinese well, or even if you do not know Chinese, because when I started, it was just Google Translate. Even today, it's still Google Translate. But it's just that it's just the balance of whether you translate one sentence by itself or you take a paragraph to translate, because the meaning can be very, very different. So again, it's back to the interpretation and our understanding. And I think the most important is to practice at ease and be at ease and be at peace. Then you won't be afflicted. Because sometimes when there could be times when the Singapore sister is a bit late in sending out the transcript, the Chinese transcript. There are times that the deadline is very tight, maybe 5 days, 6 days. But then again, that depends on how, where we come in, how we liaise with the rest of the brothers and sisters. And all the time, Tzu volunteers are very, very accommodating and very understanding. So everything in the end will be well. Okay, so that's the key message. So don't worry and don't be stressed. Yeah. So that's my sharing for today, Kan.
Wow, Sister June for the most insightful and heartwarming sharing. Yeah, this platform is still, this field of blessing is still open, and we hope to see more people joining. Just can PM any of us, the team member in this group. We will add you because it's a weekly session. Okay, and Sister June, we can hear, right? Sister June is also a banana. She also cannot understand, cannot read Mandarin, but today she is our editor. So as Sister June said, truly have to practice at ease and peace. And teacher Gao Xiong, teacher Min said, it's not because we are good, that's why we start. It's because once we start, that's how we become good. Okay, most grateful to Sister June. Sorry, okay, let me share the. Okay, here we can see Sister June, the mind clear as crystal, and she has infinite wisdom through this process. Okay, next, let us invite our dear Sister Suisan. Quite a number of the translators on this platform, they are from, previously they were the translator for Wisdom at Dawn during the early years, I think 2016, that point of time when Master give live Wisdom at Dawn without English subtitle. It was in Taiwanese Hokkien. So a few of them joined to help translate it into English instant. The person, one of the pioneer is Sister Suisan. Sister Suisan then with Sister Sihu started leading the Malaysian team to do the translation. Of course, Brother Joe and the team was, they were the pioneer, and those are our abode Dharma teachers, and we are most grateful. So today, this team, Sister Suisan, continue to help us in translation for Brother David Liu, so we can see the effort of Sister Suisan, past, present, and trust in future too. Okay, Sister Suisan, okay, over to you, Kak.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Actually, I'm in the car, so sorry. Because I need to go collect the food for veggie promo. So I'll do it in my car. Yeah. Okay. I feel ever grateful. So sorry. I just okay. I'm ever grateful that okay. Where is it? Okay, I'm ever grateful that opportunity given to me to do the translation. Yeah, Brother David sharing in from Mandarin to English. However, as you know, like what Sister June said, sometimes the deadline is really very, very tight now, because sometimes it requires 2 days, 3 days. Thus, because I get a bit panic, especially when you get assignment, your heart will start to beat. Oh, what is the deadline? Especially I'm constantly on the go, and also I go over outstation very frequently. And also sometimes I'm in overseas. So when there's also one incident that actually I was in Denmark. So I said, oh no, got deadline. And traveling because got a transit, and then also time zone difference. Then I know that I did it in the airport. After that, when I reached the hotel, wow, but before going to sleep, I make sure I finish my piece. Because there's a lot of maybe it's an indirect pressure because I saw other members are already completed. Oh, I say, wow, mine is almost near the last one. So you got to be hurry. So to finish, but because there's so many meetings in between, by the time I finish my meetings, it's almost 10, somewhere 10 to 10:30. By the time or 10 to 10:30, especially if I'm outstation. By the time I reach the hotel room already, take my bath is already 11 o'clock. But I know that it's a deadline, so I will finish it by 12 o'clock. But in between, I will doze off. After I doze off, I wake up again and then finish the piece. So, or sometimes wake up very early in the morning, 10, about 4:30 or 4 o'clock, because 4:30 to finish the piece before the Xin Fa Xiang. So that's the deadline, but then of course the deadline also push us to be diligent. So I say to me is that sometimes it crossed my mind whether I want to give it up. No, because I say, oh, all the deadline are so tight, and my schedule is also, my meeting schedule is also very tight. But I think I find a lot of joy from translating, because Brother David Liu's sharing has a lot of wisdom in it, and also helped me to read Mandarin, because I don't read Mandarin all the time. Of course, messages, yeah, but then some of them are so difficult. Or some of the sutras are so difficult. But Brother David Liu's one make it very easy. And I think I learned a lot from translating. And also, I'm also very grateful to Sister Su Ching for giving me a new app to do the translation and make it so much easier. Because previously, I used to be, I use translation word by word. I have to go Google Translate to understand the whole message, the whole passage, and then after that, I have to type and understand the translation. So it takes so much longer. Actually, sometimes can take more than 3 to 4 days. So fortunately, with these apps that he even shared with me, at least I roughly know what is. I can read the Mandarin, but I know what it means. But the web has helped me to simplify it, and then of course I will change it in between. If I find that it doesn't rhyme. So it's a good experience for me, and of course I will continue to do it no matter how tight is my own personal schedules, all my meeting schedules. I'm very grateful to Sister Su Ching and the team for their for accommodating, especially mostly I'm the last one, near the last one to hand over the translated script.
Wow, Karen, Sister Suisan, we can see how diligent Sister Suisan is despite her very tight schedule, busy schedule, both in Tzu and also in her corporate life. But Sister Suisan never give up. That's why on all these practices make her accumulate what she now attains as virtue. Karen, Sister Suisan. Okay, next, we are most grateful to have with us Sister Mesita. She's at UK now, our youngest translator. Sister Mesita is the daughter of our most diligent and courageous Sister Stephanie. Okay, despite busy settling in new place and the new job, there was this point of time a lot of changes in Sister Mesita's life, but she didn't give up. She also endured and continued to help the team. Okay, over to you, Sister Mesita. Karen.
Hi everybody. I just want to say that I'm very grateful to contribute in this platform, and it was really I guess I'll be most grateful to my mom, because she's the one who introduced me to the team, to the work that you guys do. And well, I guess I find it moving over to the UK has been quite a new experience, but I think being in touch with Tzu work has been a very grounding experience. Yeah, I think it keeps me rooted in the values that my family holds, well, in the values that I want to cultivate in my own life as well. And I think like with translation work, I try to, I try to really like take time to go through the text, and even like I don't have a lot of knowledge in this the more sort of like Buddhist historic kind of context. And so the translation work helps in two ways. Like first, it introduced me to a lot of like new Buddhist concepts, and the other thing it helps me with is that I think it gives me a lot of practical life advice of like how to sort of like organize, or how to live out a wholesome sort of like life practice while I'm away from home. So I guess like one of the examples is that like for example like over the summer months here in the UK, I've been sort of like hanging out with a lot of friends, going out, and sort of just having a lot of fun. But it sort of like came to a point where I'm like, oh, maybe I'm sort of not so in touch with the other aspects of my life. I feel a bit like uncertain now. But then, like a document will come, and then like I'll open it up, and like I'll spend like maybe 2 hours in the morning sort of like going through it slowly. And then usually there will be like a specific phrase that will sort of catch my attention. And the most recent phrase that really I found that I could relate to was there was this sentence about if I can speak Mandarin just for a little bit, it's 应界生定, and then 应定生慧. And I felt instantly that, oh, this is, the reminder that I needed after having all this fun during summer. And now I'm feeling a bit like, okay, I need to like refocus my life again. And this came at in such a timely way. So I think being involved in translation work is a way for me to sort of maintain a good kind of inner compass as I kind of explore my life here in the UK, in London. And as we know that like London can be quite a big city, it can be quite, like exciting and chaotic at the same time. But I think, yeah, as I said, like doing translation work is a life practice that grounds me back to the values that my family hold, grounds me to the values that I want to continue to cultivate in my life. Yeah. So that's about my sharing really, like, and I'm just grateful that I'm part of the team. And over I think August and September I was moving houses, so I was like quite swamped, and the team was like, everyone was really willing to sort of like sit in. And I was like, okay, like I was quite swamped and I couldn't commit to the translation work, but I was really grateful that a lot of people were like very happy to step in, and I can see that it's such a like supportive community, I would say. Yeah. So thank you for the opportunity to serve and also the opportunity to learn.
Wow, Karen, Sister Mesita, for sharing us such heartwarming insights. Truly, not only Sister Mesita, it's also helped us to keep us grounded, the compass. Hearing these
Yeah.
brothers and sisters, if you have any young young children like Sister Mesita, yeah, this is the
Yeah,
good.
ask them to come do translation work,
Yeah, Sister Mesita, speak a few words how to
Yeah.
encourage the
Like
young.
sometimes, like I have a practice of like journaling as well. So sometimes I would copy like phrases from the translation document into my journal and be like, oh, this is actually a point that I want to reflect on currently. So yeah, it's actually very heartwarming to have that in my life.
Awesome. Good. Okay, I'm also reminded because I also have kids. Maybe it's also time to encourage them again. Truly, Guardian Sister Mesita, always we can see, despite difficulties in life, but yet not to be overcome by the difficulties, and we need to overcome the difficulties. Guardian Sister Mesita for the great effort. Okay, next we would like to invite our ever diligent Dr. Ho, a brother who never say no. In mere words, it's difficult to describe the great effort by Dr. Ho. Dr. Ho is one of the pioneer in doing live translation for Master Wisdom at Dawn in the past. He's residing in Kelantan, a doctor residing in Kelantan. So that's why venue is not an issue at all, because all these are done. We can communicate online. There was a point of time when Dr. Ho, he faced some difficult impermanence tests in life, yet it did not stop him. Many would have need to take time away, to take a break, to take a rest. But Dr. Ho is always very sympathetic and very compassionate. Noticing how we struggle without him, he will quickly jump in and help to rescue us. For me personally, truly, any point of time I have issues with the language, Dr. Ho is the first one to come to my mind, and never say no. Very grateful to Dr. Ho. Okay, let us welcome Dr. Ho to share your thoughts for the day.
Morning, sister. You made me blush.
Great benefactor.
Now, all this begins, I suppose, with my affinity with you all in 2015, when I somehow got my foot into the medical team in Bukit Jalil for the water repentance Dharma adaptation. Actually, that time, I suppose I'm the only one from Penang side calling KL side, looking for the opportunity to at least offer my help. Because since at that time, the doctors are being called like 医师, is actually means medical doctors, Western medical doctors. Maybe some of the brother and sister there, they thought I'm a Chinese traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. So somehow I was there. From there on, with the introduction by our brother Jeff to you all, then slowly we have the affinity to grow. And glad to participate. Like what Master used to say, everyone has hidden potentials. I suppose I never know that I could translate that well, because I never do translation before. This is due to I don't do much of translating work in Kelantan at all. Only, I suppose, the initial part, we do, earlier in my years, we do read a lot of sutras, from the Vajra Diamond Sutra to the general universal door of Avalokiteshvara, the Kuan Yin Pumen Ping, to the Medicine Buddha, to the Earth Store Bodhisattva Sutra, and even some of these like this from the Pure Land set, the Sutra of Amitabha. I suppose we do, at that time, we just some sort like blindly chanting or reading the sutra. So maybe it got stuck in my mind. And furthermore, that time we have opportunity to to be friends with a few senior brother and sisters from this Pure Land sect, because at that time they have this a small truck which is converted to as a display truck for these Pure Land sect books. I mean, they have a lot of books, and we do a bit of selections. So there is quite a bit of explanation, and from there on, I suppose it improved a little bit in my knowledge, although it improved in a different way. Only when I joined into this Jieh, we only know there is this Lotus Sutra, because normally nobody, I mean, in the traditional Chinese home, there is not many of these Lotus Sutra being found in the homes actually. In fact, we never know that there is this sutra. Of course, these are a big sutra. I think a lot of people would not dare to touch it unless you have been following some masters here and there. But since Master Chen Yan are practicing on the Sutra of Infinite Wisdom and Lotus Sutra, we as Su Ching disciples, we would need to follow on it. The challenges are great actually in this era, especially during the pandemic time, because there are more things, more pressure, more fears in the heart and mind of the people. And somehow Master will always step into the front to lead the people by starting the great education. Although she did mention about great education in the years earlier than that, but for the last few years, masters have been doing it more diligently than us actually. So sometimes it is not easy. And I suppose we as disciples have a little bit of responsibilities to follow. As for the translation for Brother David's weekly video or his talk, I suppose a lot of people do not like it, or maybe hate it actually, because most of us in Malaysia, especially in Malaysia, I don't know about other countries, we never learned about all these 4 books and five philosophies of the ancient Chinese. I mean, maybe we heard a little bit here and there the common quotes by Confucius or Mencius, but Brother David is full of surprises. And in fact, sometimes we do need to scratch our head, because for some of the translation that we can found in bilingual, certain times it doesn't seem to be appropriate, because I suppose the translation is done by maybe what we call Westerners. Their thinking is a bit different. And for the Eastern side, the thinking will be a bit more subtle, and it forms more of a metaphor. It doesn't really point straight to the point. It will indirectly point you to the point, to the target. So there tends to be a little bit obscure actually. So, but we are glad that we are able to read a little bit in Chinese. Actually, surprisingly, a lot of you maybe thought I'm Chinese educated. I'm not. I'm only year 1 and year 2 Chinese primary school, that's all. But basically, I graduated from this, what we call this local Malay school, local education system. But in fact, actually, we can say that we graduated from University of Louis Cha, the master for all the Kung Fu novels. Because I suppose from young time, we will be like basically chasing the daily printed paragraph of Kung Fu novel excerpt. Because at that time, Louis Cha did not printed the whole book. Basically, he just write the Kung Fu novel, the series, here and there, and posted it to the newspaper company from Hong Kong, then up to that to Malaysia. So that is how I learned my Chinese actually. And of course, in those early years, we learned about the sutra, everything. There is no guidance actually, because the system does not allow us to really know what is the meaning. And I suppose somehow we are like secluded, either in the family, in the school, or later in my medical university. And there is we are still like basically like a hermit frog in the well actually. Only by entering the big family of Jieh, we are able to escape into the vast realm of wisdom. Although I suppose we are only being attached to a little bit of those wisdom. Like even I have bought the 7 books of Lotus Sutra explanation by masters. Actually, I did not even open it at all, because somehow I suppose it is not yet time, or either I'm still not diligent enough, or maybe we can put that there are some hindrances and blockage in the way. I suppose we need to be more proactive. Like now, there is not much time. We are getting old. I'm getting old. Master is getting old. Time is of paramount importance. The amount of Dharma is vast. Then the essence of the Dharma is more and more profound. And we may not totally understand the Dharma at all. Furthermore, it is not easy for us with common laymen and laywomen to understand when we are worried about when to pay our bills, my rentals, fetch my daughter, and of course, with my demise of my home sister last 2 years, okay, it is all is basically being a challenge in a way. Only through these challenges, I suppose, we can improve in life, improve in our life of wisdom, and hope that more we can recover our innate nature. Oh, then only we could transform our consciousness into the wisdom and hopefully transform it all to the 8 consciousness wisdom of profound, perfect round mirror.
And Brother Ho, our most diligent and dedicated brother. We can see the great endurance, brother. Yeah, we can see how busy Brother Ho, aside from his taking care of the clinic, our these various translation platform. Not only Brother David's, there are also many others, as well as taking good care of the daughter. Zufu brother, for inspiring us daily. Okay, we can see that that's how Brother Ho spreading the sutra for the future generations, and we'll be able to patiently endure what is difficult to endure. And today, next, our last speaker, Brother Joshua. Wow, Brother Joshua, Malaysian, residing in US, very dedicated brother. Wherever there's this Dharma platform, that's where we can see Brother Joshua. Brother Joshua not only active, he also supporting us here. He also at the Cantonese Dharma after this, and of course the US side promoting master's teaching for what the US Dharma team. Okay, without much time, as well as the Kaohsiung online book study. Okay, without much time ado, let us pass it to Brother Joshua. Over to you, brother.
Sister Su Ching. Let me share my screen. Okay, dear Master, all Dharma Master and all brothers, sisters from all over the world. So I'm Joshua, and I'm sharing today about the translation for weekly Sunday talk with Brother David Liu. So just a little bit background about myself. So I'm born and raised in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I went to Chinese school, so I'm fluent in Chinese, English, and Malay. I studied abroad in USA since 2009 and have stayed here until now. And I was certified as a Faith Corp actually back in Malaysia in 2016, and as a commissioner in USA in 2021. And I actually just went back to Hualien in June this year and get certified. Yeah, because of the COVID-19 thing, that's why it delayed until 2023. So how do I started at this translation for Brother David Liu platform? So it all because of the COVID pandemic since 2020. Because of the lockdown, so all the normal regular activities have paused. So all Tzu Chi volunteers around the world started doing a lot of like online activities. So that's why I started joining this platform as well as the Dharma in Cantonese platform. And so I actually started doing the Chinese transcript typing in DIC because I know Chinese, so I can listen to the Cantonese and then type in Chinese. So Sister Hilda contacted me and told me about this opportunity that I can do English subtitle translation for Brother David Liu. And then actually she gave me a choice whether choose English or Chinese because I can do both language. And I decided to join the English team because they are all Malaysian, so Malaysia boleh. So all other translation works that I do, I also am the Malay interpretation team 2 for Kaohsiung online study group, Cantonese interpretation team 3 for Cantonese Kaohsiung online study group, and then I also did Chinese typing for DIC, and Malay transcript for Kaohsiung online study. And in US, I also do like instant translation from Chinese to English for volunteer certification training here. And I'm so happy that because of this opportunity, I actually went back to Malaysia in July this year, and then I got a chance to see Sister Yvonne, Sister June, and Sister Suisan there at Jingsi Hall during the certification sharing that day. Yeah, and congratulations to everyone who gets certified recently. And actually, when I went back to Hualien in the abode, I also met Sister Tiffany. Sister Tiffany is actually the daughter of Brother David, and she also came to US in September this year, and then I also got to take picture with her in the Jieh USA headquarters in San Dimas. So what are the benefits of doing a translation? I get to learn more about Dharma from very experienced Brother David Liu, and I can spread Dharma to people who do not understand Mandarin. And I understand that very deeply because in my Kaohsiung translation team, I have like Sister Irene, Sister Qinyan, Sister Hongli, and Sister Xiu Guan. They all cannot really read and understand Chinese Mandarin, but they need to go through so much trouble in order to do the Malay translation, actually interpretation. So it's very important for us to spread Dharma to people who do not understand Mandarin but still want to learn about Dharma. And I get to know all friends from all over the world, even though I'm in US right now, but I get to know and make Dharma friends with all the Pusas from all over the world, especially here in Malaysia, because this is my hometown and I feel very close to all you guys here. And another last thing, I want to do a little advertisement. So Jieh USA Online Dharma Study Group, we have it on, actually it's the first Sunday of the month in USA time. But in Malaysia time, it will be the first Monday of the month at 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. As long as the first Monday is not the first of the month, then it's the first Monday. Otherwise, it will be the second Monday. Yeah, so please come and support our Jieh USA Online Dharma Study Group starting in December. Yeah, and that's all my sharing today. 感恩 Sister Su Ching for inviting me. 感恩.
感恩 Brother Joshua for the wonderful sharing. Because of time, let's pass straight to Brother Chin. 感恩 brothers and sisters for listening in. 感恩.
Hey, good morning, brothers and sisters. And thank you, Sister Su Ching, for a wonderful session and facilitating this group of Malaysian translators. Next, we have Brother Victor Jieh and Sister Janet Yao, who's already online now. Both of them are, as I understand, they're from Taiwan, but now residing in the US. Interestingly, they're very active in Beijing, and so they have great influence in Beijing as well. Now they will be sharing floods are ruthless, but there is love in the warm, and showing their great loving heart to all of us. Interestingly, they are also their guides, communicators, their coaches, and changing the minds and the lives of people, as I believe it. So all your the platform, both Brother Victor and Sister Janet.
Thank you. Okay. Dear beloved Masters in Yen, abode masters, global Shih family, and online listeners, good morning. Have a wonderful day, everyone. This is Victor Jieh. My Dharma name is Jieh.
Good morning, everyone. This is Janet Yao, and my Dharma name is Shih. We are from Janet and Victor. Great love the radio. Today, we will share a topic about the floods, ruthless, but we have a great love in the world.
So you have all heard the report from Typhoon Dusuri recently. This time the disaster is very close to us, right in Beijing, which is known to everyone. The flood is coming fiercely. Let's take a look at the video. From this news report, in this paragraph, you can see that the peripheral circulation affects the increase in moisture. It will rain heavily from Fujian to Beijing. It's a long way, right? But it's a natural thing. In many years of Beijing, red warning was issued for heavy rainfall. It is everywhere. Due to the flooding, flights has been canceled, causing the transportation inconvenience. And the major tourist attraction and the sports event has been suspended. So you can see that the flood brought by the typhoon are menacing.
The disaster you saw in the video just now is vivid before your eyes. You can see that the Beijing, Hebei, and the other places have been experiencing continual heavy rainfall since from July 29th. The disaster in the Fangshan, Montogo, and the other places in the Beijing are very serious. CCTV in the southwest suburbs of the Beijing, they said the biggest flood in more than half a century. And the other is the neighboring Hebei region. Many reports said that it was the heaviest rainfall in a century.
So the flood have just receded and we saw disasters in several areas. Of course, Shih took action. In the video report by CCTV, the CCTV reporter Wu Jing came over for an interview. So you can see we mobilized Shih volunteers and we with property management employee who interact with our local community. We all join force like an army of ants to clean up the sludge. So the weather in those days was hot and muggy. So you can see it's not comfortable weather, but everyone was not afraid of getting dirty or suffering the heat. I mean, they rolled over their sleeve and put on their rain boots. Brothers and sisters, everyone pick up the shovel and work together. The purpose is to help the community to dig out the mud. So even when the water supply was still difficult to come by in some disaster-stricken areas, so volunteers so desperately join in the rescue effort, hoping to help disaster-stricken community return to normal life as soon as possible. So I can see you there, who is usually delicate and noble, are sweating profusely. I see that you are not complaining at all, right?
Yeah, do my best though. Yes, we will not rest of the next day. We didn't take a rest of the next day. That's the people. So many see. You can see that everyone does what everyone does in order to distribute the supplies to the affected residents. We invite many volunteer and a member of the community people to come with us. Some volunteer had gone to clean up the sludge the day before and came to work all day packing the supplies the next day. Many people join us in the community because they have known after reading online report. Some even brought their children or family and were willing to come and to do their part of the victim. Through this activity in past few days, we also attracted many people, many members of the community who not only came to participate as the volunteer, they also getting to know more about Shih.
Of course, some areas still have saturated area and all the residents need to be helped to evacuate that area. So due to a safety consideration, these wet area require professional rescue team to enter to rescue. Shih has also visited the disaster area to conduct field surveys and study how to provide relief services to the disaster area. So That's what we do. And Baozhou in Hebei and Bazhou in Hebei and Wuchang in Heilongjiang were the hardest hit area. So Jieh also mobilized the volunteers to go to the rescue and distribute food, daily necessity, clothing, and other care material to more than 20,000 affected households in 9 towns. So not only did Jieh mobilize more than 200 volunteers, and even more than 200 local residents and the social figures were mobilized as volunteers to carry and pack tens of thousands of boxes of daily necessities. Teachers and the students from school, they were also mobilized to help. So a lot of moving and the packing work to be done. So we can watch this video.
C'est une crue vraiment extraordinaire puisqu'elle a dépassé de 70 cm la crue de 1910.
Mais on voit ça qu'à la télé, forcément, on dit que ça arrive qu'aux autres. On est relogé maintenant dans une maison particulière.
Tous les témoignages que je viens d'avoir sont des témoignages de quelle humanité. Tous ces gens qui sont venus nous voir du monde entier pour nous, dans notre campagne Petit Sologno, pourquoi ? Et ils sont vraiment excessivement touchés par ce geste.
On remercie de tout cœur cette association pour cette générosité, pour cet amour qu'on nous donne.
Tant pour nous, dans ces moments-là, de voir de la solidarité, c'est vrai qu'on ne s'attendait pas du tout à ce type de réaction.
So let's look back from the spring of 2016. Europe was also soaked in heavy rain. So France to Ukraine. So European continent was submerged in heavy rain. So the entire European continent has been trapped in low pressure belt. At that time, like central France, Bavaria, Germany, and Austria have all been affected by severe weather. So countries have also experienced large-scale flooding, landslides, and a power outage for tens of thousands of households. So this is just to show since 2016, this kind of weather start we remember in Europe. And in the so look at on the history. So 2017, there's a storm hit San Francisco Bay Area in the United States. So flooding, landslide, power outage, and road closure were reported in various places due to heavy rain and hurricane. And even worse, in the California Central Valley area, nearly 500 residents were evacuated in an emergency at night because 2 spillways of the Oroville Dam in the Northern California were damaged. So putting the dam at risk for collapse. So 188,000 residents downstream of the dam were warned within half an hour of receiving the message, evacuate your home as soon as possible. So not only that, we can see in 2017, August, this video.
I don't have the right word to say. Devastated, 50 of that 80% is severe. So much was lost, so much that we depend on every day.
They showed the big cities all the water, but the smaller cities and the smaller people where they didn't have, you know, the people's coming to help with the boats, they wasn't here.
Everybody worries about the rich neighborhoods. Income shouldn't determine who gets the help.
One of the hardest things for a first responder or police officer is just taking things from someone, because most of the time we're always giving.
I believe that everything we do plants a seed, positive or negative. You plant positive and it grows and it produces, and so maybe this is just, the positive coming back to me.
In these gifts, we learn to give. People have to learn to, as well as they receive, they have to learn how to give also.
The money is good, but to have people that really care about you and talk to you and feel what you're going through, that also means a lot.
I'm just so touched you just say, when this kind of disaster hit, everybody can just put away their differences. The political, the race, the religions. And I think this is so true because we all born by mothers, right?
Yes, sir.
We breathe the same air.
But everything that's going on in the world right now as far as the diversity and, the nation being divided, something like this just brings us all back together.
Nos han tratado como familia. Aquí no hay color, no hay nacionalidad, no hay distinción, todos somos uno mismo. Como ellos dijeron, somos una familia.
If you pictured a pond with lots of water and you think, I'm only one person, I can't affect anything, but that's not true. And what she did was like putting a pebble into the pond and watching the ripples go. It affects so many more people when you touch so many more lives. If you share that love that's inside, then it just passes on.
This time, Hurricane Harvey, the stronger hurricane in the United States, this experience in the 13 years at that time hit the Texas. The violent wind and the rain caused the several disasters from the people, many of the trapped in a collapsed house, and the thousands of the family were without the water and the electricity. Now let's see the following the video.
My grandfather's house is completely lost. Like water was I think as high as 3 feet in the home. And everything was destroyed, clothes, furniture, televisions, any electronic appliances, everything is basically gone. And we're trying to get somebody to go in and, get all the stuff out and knock down the sheetrock because there's mold spores in the house all the way up the walls. So you can literally see like the mold, the fungi of the mold growing out of the wall from the water.
瓦顿市呢，住的都是一些退休的老人或者是一些农夫。去年我们就曾经来过，那来的原因也就是因为积水也淹没了很多地方，所以这个是在这一次的水灾里面的一个重灾区。
It's amazing. Everybody is really nice, really friendly, really welcoming, letting us know that, that they're here to really help and not just trying to rush us through to get past the process. So I really appreciate the patience that they have with everybody doing the paperwork and the organization. Like, it is extremely organized, and that's immaculate. That's amazing.
This organization is like the sunrise in the horizon for us.
I'd like to thank y'all for the help and all the things you did for my mother. I appreciate it, really appreciate it. And God bless y'all.
They gave him a $400 card so that he can get some clothes and shoes and, you know, replace some of the things the items that he need, like hygiene and stuff like that. Let's see if the house can be repaired. If the house can be repaired, then he'll go back.
Okay, due to the flood disaster caused by the hurricane, Shih volunteers across the United States also mobilized to go to the Texas to provide the relief. Then we can see the next following video.
Many towns surrounding Houston, including Fulton, are still in chaos. Therefore, Shih volunteers came to this area to comfort the affected residents and provide them with financial aid by handing out cash cards.
There's already a long line of people outside Fulton Fire Department under the heat. 1 month after Hurricane Harvey's attack, there are still many people who cannot go home.
I get out of the hospital in September, and I go home, and I don't have a home anymore. My sister takes me in to take care of me, and then they bring me back today to meet with y'all to see what this was about, and I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Scenes of devastations are still everywhere in the town. Jennifer Tick is glad that she can still live in her house.
To see all the help everybody is doing for this town is amazing. I would have never thought of it. Never. It means a lot for me, but everybody here.
Okay, then let's explore back. We can see back in the history, it's this kind of the storm and the flood happening in Europe, in the US. Let's come back and let's explore why on this year, 2023, the July 28th.
Yeah,
The evening, the rain started on the 11 p.m. on 28th and stop on July 31st, 6 p.m. So just in 67 hours, quite nearly a year and a half of rainfall fell in Lincoln County, Hebei Province, with a total cumulative precipitation of 999.7 millimeters. Many people may complain that God is unfair. Why some places are short of water? Why is there so much water here? So some people don't understand. They speculate that urban drainage construction is not good enough. Many climate experts have already studied it. Do you believe the reason for the heavy rainfall this time is also related to global warming? I think people heard about the global warming for many years. We will analyze it for everyone to see later. So let's take a look at this weather map report. As you can see, next to Taihang Mountain is Hebei, and there is a neighboring Beijing. That's a geographical area of this disaster affected. At this time, the disaster in Beijing are also close to the mountainous area. It's not in the center of the city, just a suburb of Beijing. The typhoon landed actually in southern province, Hualien. So that's where it landed. And as the airflow goes to north all the way, that is the water vapor is transported from south to north. And there's a subtropical high pressure in Hebei area, generated under the climate, under the influence of subtropical high pressure is generally high temperature with stable environment and a very weak convection. So there was less precipitation. But you know, the tropical storm is low pressure and meet the high pressure, so it will stop. So the high pressure blocked the tropical depression coming from Fujian all the way up. But the tropical depression is a tropical cyclone with very strong wind. So therefore, it stayed there, caused the rainfall for 67 hours because stopped by the high pressure. So that's the climate, that's the natural things happen. Nobody can stop it. From the climate map just now, you can see that Beijing, Hebei, and other places have become catastrophic in one day due to just a few days due to the heavy rain. And from this map, you can see that it is another disaster caused by climate crisis. The climate crisis has been intensified, and we urgently need to pay more attention to it.
Once again, judging from this typhoon, East Asian typhoon are getting stronger and stronger. The reason is global warming, because the temperature rise and the Arctic ice can shrinks. Typhoon tend to generate it at the higher latitude and move the northwest, even change their path before the landing in Taiwan. This will bring the full result.
So the first result will be typhoon intensity reaches peak in areas with higher latitude. So the typhoon may be more powerful. The second one is the typhoon may be more powerful when makes landfall. The third is typhoon hits China, South Korea, and Japan more frequently than before, and Hong Kong, Taiwan has less typhoon. The fourth one is, although the typhoon is coming, rainfall in Taiwan has decreased, which has led to water shortage crisis. This is a crisis of climate change. So therefore, some experts say that the fact that typhoon have not landed in Taiwan in the past 4 years is inseparable from the global warming. So let's look at some statistics chart below. It's very simple, just a few lines. Let's watch the color in correlation with the line. The red color means 1950, it goes to the red line. The white line is 2010, so that means more recent years. So this based on the statistics. So we can clearly understand the increasing intensity of the East Asian typhoon is inseparable from global warming. And the North Pole is getting warmer and warmer, and the typhoon is moving further north. So from this horizontal line, we can see that the latitude of the typhoon that earlier years was relatively south. Right now, the red line is, the white line is relatively north.
Okay. No.
So let's take a look at some expert analysis of the cause of the disaster by Hurricane Harvey. It's because it's a report, we cannot show the voice for copyright reason, but I can read it for you if you don't see the subtitle very clearly. I'm going to read along the video. We are going to talk about environmental analyst Roger Harrop in a moment about the science behind this storm. But first, let's talk to our weather presenter, Thomas, Chef, Annika. And in the last few minutes, that's the report when the Harvey Hurricane Typhoon, the TV broadcast, had been having these figures officially coming out confirming how unprecedented this is. So they say that 49 inches of rain, so it's 125 centimeter. If it goes to millimeter, that means 1,250 millimeter, using different unit. I mean, you know, that's an awful amount of rainfall, but don't often see that in tropical storm. And just put it in context, they compare it to the UK, the London gets less than half of that in the space of a year. And that's actually more rainfall than probably Manchester, which is quite wide area overall across the UK. In the UK, that's about as much Manchester get in the whole year. We are saying this has fallen in the space of 2 to 3, 4 days. So it's a very similar disaster weather pattern compared we just learned about in Hebei and Beijing. It's the same pattern. However long it's been, actually most of the downpours and the more short-lived. So the most amount of rainfall that's fallen has actually fallen in shorter period of time. And if you think about all this waterway, they are very slow moving waterways, and all that water across the land, flat land, flowing into the waterway, it just can't cope. It's a horrendous amount of rain. And there was talk about the storm returning, and that's more detail about the storm at that time. That because the storm is kind of it's stalled, it's not moving, an awful lot of rainfall in the same place over and over again. So it's just like we learned from the Linton, it's stop and have a 1.5 years rainfall. So you can see the weather pattern of the disaster is almost the same. I mean, this astonishing, the same amount of rain that Manchester get in a year has fallen in 2 to 3 days in Houston. Okay, so it compares to Manchester in UK that people there can feel about it. So nobody can say that any of these hurricanes are caused by climate change. What scientists can say with a great deal of confidence is that warmer air carries more water. That's absolutely undisputable basic physics. And higher sea level, the sea level is increasing as the sea expands. Because of the extra heat will bring higher storm surges. Those things are absolutely certain, so that these natural disasters are in part of, or at least the effect of them are in part man-made. So the expert said, I guess 10 years also, we'll see a new branch of knowledge emerge called the attribution science. That's how much of this event can we contribute to human cause is based, probabilistically. So you know something would be 50 times more likely to happen because man-made climate change, or 100 times more likely to happen because man-made climate change. Because right now, everything we talk about, we need is evidence-based. So for this kind of disaster, everybody thinks it's a natural thing, but why is so furious? So there's a science gonna be prove it, give some evidence. Part of it's natural, part of it's man-made. So everybody wants evidence that people are working on that. So the landscape, why Texas getting flood, because the landscape of Texas is flat. That's where the problem here. Often when the storm hits the landmass, and you say hit the rugged terrain, storm often fall apart very quickly. And of course, we get a lot of flash flood and devastating flood locally, where rain fall down, the valley and the river obviously swell. But this is a slow-moving area of bad weather over a completely flat terrain. That's going to be completely saturated. That water is going to be stagnant. And there's not moving quickly. It's going to take ages to empty itself back into the sea. So we can see some sort of before and after here in terms of, it's just an astonishing amount of water. It's the same situation as in Hebei. Hebei is all flat land, no mountain. So that's why the disaster area is so big. So we can see this kind of weather pattern happens everywhere on Earth, not just the first one we saw in Hebei, then we see in France, then we see in Northern California, then we see in Houston, Texas. Okay. So you can see a green thing inside, or you look at it is concrete. It's a vast conurbation that has been concreted over for miles and miles and miles. Especially the land is covered by concrete, so the water just cannot, drain out quickly.
Okay, so in August 2017, Hurricane Harvey caused a serious disaster in the Texas and Louisiana in the United States. It including the flooding caused by the rainfall, overflow from the storm surge, and the skyrocketing river water level. It also severely damaged and
petrochemical industry.
And it caused Texas to 7 coastal towns and 1 town in Louisiana were ordered to evacuate.
So Hurricane Harvey sounds alarm as climate change threatens growing. One of the causes is climate change. So higher seawater temperature will speed up the evaporation of water from the climate change, and higher air temperature will be able to hold more water vapor. So in the climate system, condensation of water vapor will release energy, making storm and flood more intense. So that's from the climate experts' comments. So the chart from some statistics from the European Union monitoring report. So it can be seen that the world is experiencing constant disaster due to climate change. In the past 7 years, which have been the hottest in global history, greenhouse gas concentration have inexplicably risen sharply. So this agency also issued a warning about the rapid rising methane concentration in the atmosphere. I think the methane concentration in the atmosphere should be caused by human behavior.
Yes, and who is to blame for the extreme weather? In fact, it is human who have the
ruin the weather.
Okay, and this chart is from the multinational climatologist world weather attribution. We call the WWA, who explore the relationship between the climate change and the extreme weather event. His study, various studies since from the 2004, the chart showed that 90% of the extreme heat and 69% of the drugs are caused by the climate change, and the 56% heavy rains and the flood. So from the statistical chart, we can clearly tell that a human being must wake up and save themselves.
Then we can voluntarily mourn ourselves if people have love. What solution should we have to climate change? I think we can bring a lot of examples. Phase out fossil fuels or enhance renewable energy. And so we have low carbon emission so that people can think we hear about all the time. So what's the goal? The goal is reach net zero emission by 2050. Okay, so there is some time, let's do some effort. For example, promote green transportation. So we see a lot of bus is using battery in the city. Reduce the use of plastics. Okay, promote friendly building and healthy housing. We saw a lot of that kind of design happening in Europe recently. And promote a diet with less meat and more vegetable, because the meat industry really destroyed a lot of Earth's resources. Time is limited today. We will analyze the option in detail next time.
Okay. The first time I saw the climate clock, it woke something up inside me, and that after 30 years of being in this moment, this sentence is by the German Riegel. They're talking about a climate clock.
So climate clock, the clock debuted in Union Square in September 2020 during the pandemic. So on Saturday, dozens of activists on that day is Saturday, look on it and felt the pressure of time running out. As the clock for the first time indicated less than 6 years remaining to dramatically reduce fossil fuel emission. To avoid that could be irreversible effects of climate change. So because the clock is ticking, so they talk about 5 more years to make huge possible change. That's from activist Mahayana Landro. And to inspire everybody to participate in standing up for climate change. So that's a global thing. Everybody on Earth should do something. So if we help to put something in context, many scientists believe that the uptick in natural disaster and the severe weather is directly related to climate change.
Okay.
So also the climate clock. So we have to ourselves from this destruction take a look. Everybody from different starting point, 7 years, 102 days, and 7 hours. So that means it's close. This is time we have to save the world. At least as per the newly installed climate clock in New York, climate campaigner have unveiled this huge climate clock at New York Union Square. The clock gives a countdown until the burn through the carbon budget. That is the amount of greenhouse gases which can be emitted before Earth's temperature goes up permanently by 1.5 degrees Celsius. Remember the global warming, the environment, once it reaches that, it cannot be reversed immediately. It will stay there for a long time. The change of 1.5 degrees might seem minimal, but its impact can be drastic. The United Nations has warned of drastic environmental change. If the 1.5 degree threshold is crossed, the Earth could lose its coral reefs and the Arctic sea ice. This is arguable the most important number in the world. And it should have this kind of placement in the center square of our society, so that why we put the clock up today, and hopefully it will stay, and people will see it as an important reference point, as a way to stay honest with our challenge. The climate clock has been installed as part of the Climate Week of the International Summit involving New York City and the United Nations. The climate clock will be on display until September 27 to 2020, because that's the end of the summit. So it's a reminder of the time before we reach a critical tipping point, and a reminding for us to turn things around before something irreversible happens. So the view report, we own world is one. There's only one world.
Okay, so there is the love in the world. The people should love and save our own earth. Okay.
So rescue and rectification after disaster are all about preserving the lives of all living beings and everything in the world. Let us live instead of compensating for all losses. Strengthening the environmental protection of the earth should be the top priority.
So from our introduction, we hope that people love their own earth. So everyone have a love. You not only love yourself, we need to love our own earth.
Yeah. So that's all the thing we want to report to the audience, because the clock is ticking, and the first people should aware there's a climate clock there, then think about what's the meaning for that, because we do have more than 200 countries in the world. Every country has its boundary, but for the earth, it's just one place. There's no boundary. The weather can move around like several years ago, the Idai cyclone in East Africa created a big flood in Mozambique, and Su also went there. So it's not, we see some example in Europe, in the US, first in Beijing, that's in Asia, and also remember in Africa. It's the same weather pattern. The floods is still huge in Mozambique, covered so much area. We don't have the chance, the time to cover all the cases. Just from Su Chi's point of view, we volunteer go to help the survivor of those extreme weather. But people still argue about that. Is this extreme weather true or not? There's no argument. So all the goals in the World Climate Change Organization, those who care about, they put a climate clock, because the density of the carbon dioxide is still increasing. So people want to put a stop first. Then we are trying to reduce it, but that's a harder subject. First, we need to stop the increase of the carbon dioxide in the Earth's atmosphere. But it's once it's there, how do you want to reduce it? It's another problem. But from the global organization, they give us some data and show some deadline. So the most important thing we want to show is really happening around the world. Second, there's a climate clock clicking. If you're interested, you can check what's the time left on the climate clock, because it's an ongoing thing right now. So we really appreciate spending your time listening to this presentation. Hopefully it's not more confusing to your everyday life. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for your listening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Jane and Sister Janet Yao, for the rather heartfelt sharing. If we queue a few minutes, a couple of minutes. So I'm just trying to really what I've learned is this creating Shih through your action, which is really wonderful and inspiring for all of us. And I guess it's about bringing our human beings back to humanity, and I think a lot of us around the world have lost our own humanity, and I think we've done a lot of work in highlighting this to us. Interestingly, you mentioned about the floods from Beijing to France to the US and the hurricanes around there. And you have shown to us how you cut the differences of whether by creed, by belief, by color, by appearances. And that is the demonstration of great love that Master has always been trying to promote in a lot of us. So, I noticed that you mentioned a lot about floods. So I'm just curious as to what brings you, or what inspires you to do all this work and do so much in helping out others. You're muted, Brother Victor.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thanks for your feedback and comments. I think it's the environmental protection is a big subject. Every day, Shih, Master Zhen always mentioned to us, not now, but many years ago. So we Shih also a lot of volunteers around the world are participate this kind of disaster relief. So that means we really witness this. But when we put it together from people who view it today, you can realize it's really a global thing because we got limited time. We just pick a big area like Europe, US, Asia, It's just an example to show us what's happening on Earth, because usually we just care about our own community or our neighborhood. We seldom people worry about that. Why that happened? Because it's a global thing now. So if just one country do that, doesn't make any difference. So it's need every citizen of Earth. We are all citizens of Earth. That's everybody's responsibility because it's accumulated somewhere from somebody. But everybody really care about that. I think we will make small changes, will make big change for the world. I think just Master Zhen told us everything we want to do first is awareness. Means not just a few people, that everybody aware of it. Then we get the common consensus. Then we can work together. Like I believe Shih brother and sister in Malaysia also doing a lot of effort. So we just like Master Zhen told us, in the world, bad guys not so many. It's just good guys are not good enough. That's some Master Zhen's teaching. I heard, yeah, we are good people, but are we good enough? Are we try our best to help as much as we can? Or even just like a little ant, we still can do something. Or like the small bird to save the the forest. We have that kind of spirit from Master Zhen's teaching. So that's always in our heart. Anytime like you can see we joined the Harvey's hurricane relief doing the intake. Over there, we can feel it, feel the pain of the survivor of the disaster. Also in Beijing, we joined clear the mud. For the community, it's this kind of things happen. People just don't have an idea. I don't mean Shih, but a lot of community people. We talk about climate change. They just wonder what are you talking about? That means we are not doing enough awareness thing for the community, and if we do it all over the world as just Shih, we can promote that along with other organizations, not just Shih. So that will. No, this kind of big effort we hopefully will have big change. I think that's everyone's wish. Not only Shih brother and sister, also the people in the world. They all wish. Like we went to Europe. We find vegetarianism very popular in Europe, in many countries, in Berlin, in Warsaw. Those countries we just visit. The vegetarian restaurant is very popular. It's not related to religion because people there they aware the urgency. People have to do something, and in those vegetarian restaurants, most are young people.
Yeah,
because their future, they really aware. That's awareness of the society will make a big difference. We saw that happen in Berlin, in Warsaw, in Budapest. So it's happening in Europe, but in Asia, I think we are volunteering in Asia. We should trying to increase awareness of the urgency. I think climate clock is most dramatic. People think, what's that? What's that clock is talking about? So we can start from there, just a suggestion. People are already doing a great thing in your area. We just just share our feeling. Okay, thanks.
That's wonderful, Brother Victor. I was talking to my daughter. She's based in London, and when she was a student there, she was telling me that about 30% of the students were actually vegan or vegetarian. So I was really quite impressed. And when I travel there, it's actually easier for me to get vegetarian option in any restaurant in Europe than I would be able to get in Malaysia. So I noticed that a lot of the younger places, the youngsters open, there's always a vegetarian option in the menu. So that's beginning to grow, and thanks to your effort for that. And the point that you mentioned about the 67 hours of rain in Hebei, I never knew that a place can rain for so long. It's highly inconceivable, but yet that also shows really our pains in our life are also highly inconceivable. And you have shown us a way out, and that way out is through great love. And you're actually an inspiration to a lot of us, and we look forward to all your sharing in the future. And I'm sure you have a lot more stories and lessons to share with us and inspire us. So thank you so much. It's coming to 8 in some more time now. Are there any questions that you want to pose to Brother Victor or Sister Janet Yao? Okay, if there are no further questions, may I suggest you turn on all your video and we take a photo?
Take a photo, yeah.
感恩 Brother Victor and Sister Jenna, very insightful. Sorry, back to the 1.5%, that is the irreversible. If we reach that, I heard from Da Ai recently mentioned about now, as at now, it's already, there's an increase of 1.2%, 1.2 degree. So we are approaching that 1.5, which is quite, today hearing from, it's like alarm bell, alarm clock from both.
Alarm bell, yeah.
Yeah, we are drawing so close to that 1.5.
Yeah.
Who's taking the photo?
Okay.
Can you your video?
Okay, you can turn on the video. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Turn on the video and we'll take the photo.
Give it
Truly cảm ơn, if I may say
Victor.
something. Truly cảm ơn Brother Victor and Sister Janet for coming and sharing the great wisdom again and really the efforts that you have put in. And seeing all the videos remind me of what Master said in our recent episode. That say actually, Master told us about emptiness, right? There's no shortage of water. While we see so many floods in one place, we see so much drought in other places. So Master say there is no shortage. It's just the imbalance of people, the imbalance of the elements that come from the imbalance of the people's minds. So truly we must do more to create the awareness of this imbalance. Thank you so much.
So Master teaches and Brother Victor chose. Okay, so taken. So in May we end the session. We offer 3 bows to the Buddha, the Nama, and the Sangha. So please rise. Over 3 bows. First bow. Second bow. And the third bow. All right, thank you, Ganan, so much to all the brothers and sisters for logging so early this morning. And we'll have a wonderful weekend ahead. And we look forward to seeing you all next week. All right. Thank you so much.
Cảm ơn Brother Ching, cảm ơn Sister Su Ching for wonderful hosting. Cảm ơn. Cảm ơn Brother Victor, Sister Janet, cảm ơn so much. Bye bye.